Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Brian. Okay, amazingly, we have come to the 93rd episode. And welcome to all the beautiful souls who are eagerly. There are few beautiful souls who, without fail, have been attending the Zoom. And it gives me a great pleasure and a great joy for me to share this beautiful journey. And today's topic, as I told you yesterday, when I was talking to you about balance, so I thought let me talk about the eco balance and how the water is also related. So I'll be giving you some tips on why our balancing of water and a lot of balancing which our body is doing. So we need to look at how our body is going to balance our journey of life on a day-to-day basis. So when you look at this first slide itself, you will see the ecosystem by itself. There's a lot of balancing happening on its own. Nobody is actually going and putting on a switch for a rain to come or the sun to rise and the sun to set. And there is nobody who goes and switches on the river to start and then goes to the ocean to mix up. So like that, there are a lot of natural things which has been happening. And in the animal kingdom, we are the only beings in the animal kingdom. We have given a choice. Okay, 365 days you can produce children. This is only among the human beings that beautiful system has been given. So we are actually, I would say, we are misusing the honor and we're misusing the facility given by the creator. Otherwise, like animals, we should have had probably a limited number of times we can give birth in a year. But saying that, what has happened is this system nobody can change. Human beings, we are already here. So what we can do is we take individual responsibility and then slowly we start working on how do we do this balancing act, which is very, very important in our journey of life, being running a balance. Why is this a balance a very, very important necessity? Now you just go to a shop and you tell the shopkeeper, okay, you want 1 kg or 1 kg of tomato. And what he does is he'll put the 1 kg weight on one side and the other side he will put the tomatoes for you. Now imagine if the weight is on the lower side, but the tomato is still on the higher side, it's not balanced. And if the shopkeeper gives back the tomato, will you accept it? You will not accept it. But if it is balanced, you will accept it because it's according to the weight. He's giving you 1 kg of tomato and you pay the money for it. Now imagine if the weight is slightly on the higher side. That means he puts two tomatoes extra for you on the weighing machine. Definitely, as a human being, we are very happy because he has given extra for the money what you're paying. Now, this is what is many times we feel very happy about it. But when the same thing happens, like extra rain comes in, probably it's raining for 1 hour. Now, just imagine it continues for another 1 hour. What happens? You will start telling, oh, I cannot go out, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, we will start complaining. We human beings are such a being that we just go on complaining. In fact, in the past in the 1 month, actually, because of the climatic variation, it has been too hot. Even an aircon which is switched on continuously, also our rooms are still very hot. We are not able to really enjoy the real, balanced, conditioned air of, in the minus 16 degrees. Now, why is that? Because the whole environment, the building is all very hot. But whatever said and done, the nature part is you and I cannot balance it and keep it because it has its own mechanism. But if you look at the way the industrialization, the amount of vehicles running on the road, all of this has really caused a climatic change. And who is the reason? Is we are the reason. Now, whatever the reason is and whatever the situation is, you and I have to go through this journey and we have to balance. Now, who is the reason? It doesn't matter. But for us, God has given, or the universe has given us, we can balance our lifestyle and more. So what I mean by balance is a necessity is it's very, very important. Whatever you do in your life, you need to have a proper balancing. You need to have a little bit of equation so that your journey becomes a little more easier and you can move forward in life. Because many times if you have a little more also, you will feel the problem. If you have less also, you will feel the problem. But if you have a balanced thought patterns, your balanced life path, a balanced way of financial management, balanced way of health, and balanced way of eating habits, all these, when you can balance it equally to the requirement, everything starts falling in place. Now, this is where the balance, and that's where I am talking about the balance of ecosystem. But even though we all our dictionary, eco means we are talking about the environmental ecosystem. But I'm going a little more deeper and then talking about how we can balance our journey. Now, the same way when we are looking at, we would have seen this particular slide wherein I'm talking about the money and the health, dollar and health. Now, you would have seen on this planet Earth people who had, or people who are having a lot of money, but when something goes wrong, you just cannot buy that with money. For example, your kidney fails. Now, do you think that just by giving money you can buy kidneys? Even who is going to donate you the kidneys for you? Even though there are poor, see there also what will happen? You go and ask a rich man, "Hey, I will give you so much of money. Can you donate your kidneys?" You think they will donate for you? But what we human beings are so selfish in our lifestyle, what we do is we look for a poor man because he is so poor that he needs money. What we do, we pay him the money and ask him to donate one kidney. And this has been going on. This is nothing but exploiting the downtrodden people, wherein we think that they can. But imagine the same situation. You just go and ask a rich man and tell him, "Okay, fine, I'll pay you $1 million and you please give me your kidney." You think they will give you? Definitely not. But here on the other side, why is that we can't take care of our health? It's not a big rocket science for us to take care of our health. It's a very, very simple concept of handling your day-to-day life, eating your food habits, taking care of your waking up in the morning, taking care of your whole day is not at all a big deal. But at the end of the day, we need to have a balanced journey of life so that it becomes much more. So coming to the slide here on the right side, you see there is something for the brain I'm talking. Now you see that we have a left brain and the right brain. How many of you know that we all need to have a balanced brain waves so that our brain function can be able to monitor and support our body system equally and in response to the requirement. For example, you're walking, first you keep your left leg, then you put your right leg front. Left and right, left and right. Now for this, both the brains has to synchronize together and then give a signal to the right leg. It's from the left brain. It has to tell the right leg, "Come on, now move forward." Then when it comes up to the left leg, the right brain has to give an information to the left leg saying, "Come now, move forward." Now imagine all happens in a fraction of a second, all happen in the fraction of a second that we're able to left, right, we're able to do that. Now just imagine you're going to run left, right, left. You're going to run at a very high speed, like a sprinter. Now what happens? You know how fast the brain has to decide and send the signal to the muscles and send the required energy, send the required amount of oxygen. All this the body has to do, and the heart has to pump synchronizingly that it has to pump the required amount of blood to your legs as well. Now, how is it happening? The body is manufactured so beautifully that it balances itself according to the requirement of the situation. Like we all heard of fight or flight mechanism. Fight means you fight a situation. Flight means you run away from the situation. For both, the body is very well prepared. In this situation, if you look at, if the body is so very well prepared and balanced, why is that in our life, we as human beings, we are not balanced? We go most of the time, we all go out of balance. And out of balance means ultimately we face a problem, then only we start looking at solutions. So here, what we need to understand is we need to have a proper balancing of journey of life. Now, human beings and nature must coexist. That means we all have to live together. Very, very important. The moment we start, now let us start with our own individual journey of life. We must balance everything from in and out, and then right from consuming nature to preserving nature. Now, we can't be consuming too much of nature and we can't be preserved. Then we start running into nature and then saying that we want to preserve nature. For example, the water underground today, if you see, it is actually depleting. Probably 50 years ago, maybe you just go down around 3 feet to 10 feet, you will get water. But today, if you go even 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, still you cannot get water. So that means the water has depleted so much. Even though you may think that it is raining heavily and the water, but on the other hand, if you see the human explosion of the population, which is almost now 7.8 billion, definitely the water resources will deplete. Why? Because the number has increased, number one. Number two, wastage of water. This is another area which many of us don't even understand. We don't even give time to it, because especially if you are little financially well off, what most of the people will do is wasting things will be very, very easy. This I can tell you very clearly. You go to any marriages and then see how things are wasted there. Hardly they will take a little bit, but the plate will be full of their food, and then finally it will be thrown to a dustbin. But there are a lot of people who are not getting water, not getting proper food. All this is still there, but why is that we are wasting? So here, take responsibility. You need to take absolute responsibility for everything you do, so that in your journey of life, when you have a balanced lifestyle, the universe will look back to you and say, okay, this particular person is taking absolute responsibility for keeping me intact, and they preserve. So what it will do is it will give all the blessings for you, so that you live on this planet Earth. Now, how many of you know that we are all temporary visitors on this planet Earth? Many of us don't even think of it. Many of us even don't even look into it. Why? Because we think that we are all permanent residents. Just like you go to a country and then they give you a PR and then you think you're a permanent residency. Yeah. Even then, how long can you live on this planet Earth? Not many years. A day will come, you have to leave the planet and go. Whatever property, whatever money you have to just leave and go. So here, let's all take responsibility on this planet Earth, and then we embrace the nature in such a way that we live a balanced life. Now, ultimately, it comes on to us. We live a balanced life. Coming back to destroying of nature, we are destroying not only nature, but at the end of the day, we are destroying ourselves. Now, maybe today you are able to get the food very easily. But one example I want to give you. Normally, I go to 99 market and then pick up my whatever few things for the household. I'm talking around 15, 20 years ago. I go to the 99 market. Absolutely everything was available very easily. But today, you go to the 99 market, most of the thing gets emptied. The moment the stock comes in, it gets emptied. Why? Because the number of people here have, they have increased. Now, in that, one of the most very significant increase in number is your foreigners coming in and working here. Now, the moment foreigners are coming here, legally they are in, is absolutely no problem. But we see a lot of illegal people down here. Now, imagine, even if there are 1 million illegal people down in Malaysia, just imagine the amount of food. Do you think they all will be very, very responsible in consuming the food, limitation, the preserving, all this they will think? No. In fact, the situation has become so haphazard and bad that nobody is there to question, and nobody is actually doing anything about it. The way the people are throwing the garbage outside, and nobody to come and pick. And today, you see, it has become like a garbage areas where everywhere you see a lot of garbage. What can the local council also do? The people are to take responsible. So here what is happening is slowly we are destroying our own selves when we destroy nature. But what to do? Only human beings utilize everything from nature and finally destroy and damage the ecosystem. Only we are doing it. The animals don't do that. The animals do what they are supposed to do, and they are handling their life journey much more easily and beautifully. But what I would request every one of you here is, we have to stop destroying whatever is happening around us. We have to stop. Let us start from ourselves. Let's join together. Have a very, very balanced lifestyle, which plays a very, very important role in for us to live a very peaceful and a journey to move forward. Saying that, now we have to preserve nature also. Definitely we have to preserve nature. Now, when you have to preserve nature, there are a lot of other things. On the right side, can you see the food wastage. Eating a lot of meat, definitely we are utilizing a lot of water. Not many people understand this, especially meat eaters. Do you know the meat industry by itself, you know, how much of water they need to, you know, the rearing the cattle, then after that slaughtering them, the cleaning them, all this actually they are using 10 times more water to maintain that particular area for them. So now why? It's because meat eaters are there, because people are eating meat. But at the end of the day, when you see the trash we create, the electronic devices, the spoiled electronic devices, which we just throw off. You can see in a lot of places the TV gets spoiled, they just go throw it off on the street down there. And who has to come and pick it up? I also don't know. And usage of plastic. Now, the biggest nuisance what we all would have seen is, you go to any place, they will say no plastic. It's a big board with their displays, no plastic. But finally, what they will ask, do you want to buy plastic? See, ultimately, they will ask you to pay you 20 cents and you still buy the plastic. I always will ask them, why are you asking me, do you want a plastic? And you say you're not supposed to use plastic. That is on one side. On the other side, you see, you buy even a shampoo, which is sealed outside is a plastic. You know, there is a plastic cover sealed for it. Now, the question is, if you're banning the plastic from the customers to use, you have to ban everything, you have to ban all the other plastics as well. Now, you go for the dustbin bags, all are plastic. Is it biodegradable? Yes, if it is a biodegradable, it is okay. So here what is happening, there are a lot of things on this planet Earth you and I cannot change. There is only the people who are in the responsible position, they have to bring a change and they have to take the responsibility. They have to do certain things for the future. Basically, we are looking at the future. So we have to reduce the using of plastics. So we have to use a lot of newspapers. You know, paper is still okay, but still, see, when you want to manufacture paper, you still have to what do you say? You still have to cut the trees and then create a paper. So there also we are destroying. But at the end of the day, the electricity at home, how are you going to reduce it? You have to, whenever you're not using it, you still have to switch it off. And especially water. Water is something which we all have to look into in a little more detailed manner, because most of us are wasting a lot of water. With our knowledge or without our knowledge, we are still wasting. So we still start utilizing the limited what we need to use, we have to use it. Because in the future, we all will get rationed water supply to our homes. Probably the next 10, 20 years, we will get ration. So that means per day, you will get only 100 liters of water or 200 liters of water. So we'll all have to probably, like, just imagine 50 years ago, there was no piped water system. That time, people used to go pick the water from the well and probably store the water. Whatever required amount, they will store, and whatever required amount for the bathing, they will keep. And for the toilet usage, they will have another water container. Now imagine those days also people were still living, and today also in the future maybe we will be rationed. Only thing, we'll be getting it in the pipe. We have to have limited resources of using the water. Now, balancing, very, very important, isn't it? So this particular thing, what you need to understand and what I'm trying to show you is, if your brain doesn't integrate with your muscular system. Now just imagine the signal from your foot has to go to your brain and tell that you are standing straight. And if there is a surface not balanced, your body will pick up the signal and inform the brain, and the brain will try to balance the other leg in a proper manner so that you don't fall down. Now, who is actually regulating all this? It is an automated system which has been created in our body. Now, how beautifully the body is able to balance our system, how beautifully the body can do that. And imagine even your the visual, then your vestibular, that is your ears. Actually, there is a small inner ear wherein that is the one which actually maintains your balance. You know, that means the input of the signal to both sides, from the both sides to the brain, goes at the same time, and the brain balances it. Even if one signal goes faster, then you will feel giddy. You would have heard the word called vertigo. You will feel very giddy. You know, you won't be able to get up and sit down. You like to just either lie down, don't want to get up. Now, this is something which is very, very, I would say, very uneasy. Patients are immobile, means they cannot move around with the giddiness. And imagine you cannot drive your car, you cannot walk. It's just because there are few things which is not balanced in your vestibular system. The whole balancing system goes off. So in this situation, we all need to understand that in a human creation, God's blessing is one of the most beautiful, that if you have all the system well intact, please be thankful for your body. Please be thankful for every cell of your body, every organ of your body. Because if it doesn't balance you, you will be falling down every now and then, isn't it? Every now and then. Imagine if everybody on the road is going on falling down, waking up, falling down and waking up. It will be a system where it will look so awkward, when everybody is falling and getting up, falling and getting up. But that is not happening. Our brain is so beautiful. The system is so very well balanced. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when there is a balancing system inside your body, which can handle everything so beautifully, why aren't you and I can balance our lifestyle? For example, how much do you want to eat? You need to know how much you want to eat. You need to have a balanced eating habits. You can't eat more food. But even if you eat more food, what happens? Your stomach will accept it. Absolutely no issues. It will digest. It will digest. The next day, of course, the poop will come out. Everything is happening. But do you know how much of energy your body has to utilize to churn that? Definitely you're putting a pressure on. But if you have a balanced eating habits, that means, minimal food, and you're going to eat, how many times per day we are supposed to eat? Actually, once a day is amazing. Once a day is good enough. That's what I'm practicing. It's good enough. Maybe we are all working a little more in the office and you have some extra work. I would say have 2 meals a day is good enough. But on the other side, we need to look at, there are two deadly poisons which we are eating in and out. The bread, the wheat products, rice is going to be one of the deadliest poisons in the future. Maybe for now we are not. But nowadays I see there are a lot of new varieties of rice coming in. They're all concentrating on talking about diabetes and talking about sugar metabolism. And then they're telling, if you eat this rice, your sugar won't rise. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of things which we need to understand is our body needs not too big amount of food. We just need a minimal amount of food. In that, today, there are a lot of millets available. Millets are one of the good, nutritious, high fiber food grains available. Now, if you see the birds and all, we normally put millets for them. Their food and all will be like millets only. You put the food, the digestion is so easy for the birds. And now imagine if you're going to give the birds a little more heavier food, they won't be able to fly. They won't be able to do their routine job naturally. That's the reason if you see most of the time the birds actually are on a food habit where they eat according to the requirement. They won't eat more. It is a balanced food what they will be eating. So saying that our body has the beautiful capacity and the mechanism to have ourselves on a balanced journey. So we also need to work on that. Now, balance, if you're looking at, coming back to our food habits, food we eat must be in balance for a healthy physical body. Today we are exposed to with many unseen poison and we are living in an unbalanced environment. We are. This is the truth of life. But how are you going to change this situation? There are possibilities that, number one, if you can cook your own food, that is very, very good. And it would be the best. But there are people out there who would say, doctor, I won't be able to do that because maybe you're still single, or maybe your working time is not convenient enough for you to prepare the food. And if husband and wife, both of them are working, it might be a little different. I totally agree with you. But what I would request you is at least plan your food habits. What food are you going to eat? What is that you want to, eat, and then how much of water you need to drink. All these you better plan. What kind of vegetable, what kind of fruits, what kind of millets are you going to, how are you going to prepare? This is where a proper balancing of diet is very important. Now you just imagine your salary, they pay you 1,000 ringgits. They will tell you work for 8 hours for 1 month, and then finally they pay you 1,000 ringgit. Now, if you just work for 7 hours, you think your boss will give you the full salary of 1,000 ringgit, you will say, no, I'm going to cut down. So automatically it is cut down. Why? Because you're only given for that. Now the same situation for you in the body. You just imagine your heart will tell you, hey, look, you're not going to eat this whatever nutritious food for me to work. I'm not going to work for maybe 1 hour. I want to take rest. If your heart says that, what will happen to you? If your liver says, okay, today I'm going to take rest, I'm not going to clean anything from your body, let it be like that, it will be stinking, you know. If your intestine say, I'm not going to move your bowels and then totally I'm going to stop for 1 day, I want to relax, what will happen? Automatically constipation. But today, there are a lot of people having constipation without the body telling that it wants to go for leave. Why? Because your food habits. The food habits is whatever you eat is not the right food habit, wherein less of fiber, more of meat, and less of water. Now, this is very, very important. On this platform, I have to let you know that drinking water plays a very, very important role in your bowel movements, in your cellular hydration, in your oxygen carrying capacity of your cells. Water plays a very, very important role. That's why in God's creation, 70% of the body is filled with water. Only the 30% with the other liquids which we have in our body. So saying that whatever exposure for us to the poison and other unnatural things in our system, let's work in what I would say incompatible situation with the universe or the environment, so that we are able to balance our life. In that, not only the food I said, the second, water plays a very, very important role in neutralizing the poison. Now, if you have seen, a lot of people would have shown you, use Terra's water to wash your vegetables, wash your rice, wash your non-vegetarian, you can use terahertz water. Why? Because it can clean it. Now, if you look at how you can, your cleaning system, like especially your Clorox and other bleaching agents, wherein your toilet drainage, like clog, to clean your drainage system, you use clog cleaner, right? Now, that is basically a very, very high alkaline. Today, you would have seen a lot of advertisement where they give you a spray, they sell a spray and they'll say, any stain, oily stain can be removed. You just spray and then you clean it, it will clean. Why? It is because of the high alkaline. So here you need to understand that whenever you're drinking water also, you cannot drink a very high alkaline water. You are not supposed to. Now I will go on to the next slide, then you will understand how beautifully our body is able to balance. Now here, drinking water in a balanced methodology, like how much water you need to drink depends on your weight, and I have been repeating very frequently, 42 multiplied by your weight is the number of liters you're supposed to drink per day. It is for one whole day. And even there, such of those who are all planning to drink water, you might be a cardiac patient with warfarin or aspirin or any other drugs you're taking, start with always a lower dose, maybe 500 ml. Take 500 ml in the first 1 week, every day 500 ml. The remaining 2.5 liters of water, drink the normal water, no problem. But slowly increase the water to 1 liter per day, then 1.5 liters, then 2 liters per day. This is how you need to ration your water so that your body gets used to it. Now, when I say body get used to it, you should always do something wherein your body should respond to the situation. It should not react. When you react to a situation, what happens? There's always an adverse effect of the reaction. You would have seen that when people react to a situation, it's a reaction. So for every action, there is a equal and opposite reaction. So this is where we need to understand that when you react to a situation, there will be an opposite. Automatically, someone will repulse you back, and then someone will retaliate you back. So here, water, you need to know how much you're supposed to drink. Please look into it. Now, once again, going back to the slide. Now here I would wish to share this beautiful slide wherein we are talking about the pH. Now pH means we are looking at the 7 is a neutral central. That means it's a neutral. When you go on the left side, until 0 is an acidic pH. When you go until 14 is an alkaline pH, and the color has been given there. Now, if you're looking at our blood pH, what is the blood pH? We need to know is it is around 7.34 to 7.4 is our blood pH. Now, I'm going to show you in the next slide. There is something missing. Okay, there is one slide missing here. No worries. Now here, what is happening is if your blood pH goes up to 8, just 8, not even more than that, just 8, your body is alkaline. It becomes alkalosis. We call it as alkalosis, and patient will die. This is what it's just between 7.4 and another 6 units, it goes to 8. If your blood pH goes to that, it is called alkalosis. And if the blood pH comes back to 7.2, it's called acidosis. Imagine, it's a very, very small window, very small window. And imagine to keep your body between these windows without even you knowing that you have a problem. Who is doing all this job? Someone has to be doing the balancing, isn't it? You imagine if you're drinking one Coke, Coke comes somewhere between 2 to 2.5 pH is your Coke, your thumbs up. All the aerated drinks are coming at that level. If you're drinking a Coke, now just imagine your body is supposed to be on this 7.32 blood pH. Now, the moment immediately you drink this high acidic pH Coke drink, your body will be wondering, why the hell this drink has come near me? What should I do? Your body will start trying to neutralize it. From 2.5, it has to bring down to 7.34 to 7.4. It has to bring down there, because the moment you drink it, immediately the body has to balance. Whatever you do, the body has to retaliate back and then balance it. Now imagine you're drinking very proudly. The moment you go to McDonald's or you go to KFC, they will give you free one big glass of free Coca-Cola Coke drink. That too, we proudly will say Coke. Now, when you drink this, do you know how much of effort your body has to put in to bring it down from that acid level to the normal neutral level? Forget about going into the alkaline level. Just imagine normal level. What is the amount of? Have you ever felt it? You can't feel it because you are not bothered about your own body system, how it works. Only when you know how your body system works, you will value it. I'm sorry to say 80% of the world population live a life like a dead bodies, wherein they are as good as dead bodies. Why I say this is with very painful situation I'm expressing this, because they live an irresponsible life, and without knowing that the amount of damage they are creating to themselves. Why are you paying the money and then creating a damage to your own self? Is it worthwhile? Is it worth for you to go into such a damage? And then finally, when you are 70 years old, you will start searching for solutions. You think at 70 years, when your body is totally deteriorating, you want to go and find a solution, you will get solution very easily? No. So why do you want to create a situation and then finally look for a solution for it? Please, from today onwards, start looking at, just imagine just the 7.2 to 8, the pH maintenance, how much your body is finding it difficult to, balance it. It is trying to do the best of it in its ability. But a stage will come, it won't. It will just say, thank you very much, I can't do anything. There are a lot of complications. But the moment you get complicated and go to a hospital, that is the day, that's it. You will be put into an ICU, and imagine the kind of antibiotics, the kind of medicines go inside your system. Nobody can prevent it, because you can't open your mouth and tell, what are you giving, doctor? Why are you giving this? You can't even question them, because they want you to recover back and come back. But they also don't understand that it is a nutritional balancing which you need to do, and you have to balance your journey of life. But of course, they will tell you, don't drink Coke or don't drink these kind of food, avoid all this. They will tell. But do you think you want to, once you get a bypass, then only you want to change your food habits? Means it doesn't make sense. Why should you be a human being? We could have been an animal, isn't it? Have you ever seen animals getting heart attack? No. Why is it we human? It is because we have gone out of balance. That's the only situation. So now, going back to the situation here, which are the two organs which is really working hard to keep your balances, your kidneys and your lungs? Very important. Now, imagine if your kidneys, you're supposed to drink sufficient amount of water to keep your kidneys balanced. This is number one. Number two, your kidney requires basic trace elements and nutrients for it to function to its best of its ability, because The moment blood is acidic, it goes into the small nephron. What you see is one filtration system. It goes inside and the acid blood is taken out, cleansed it, and the acidity is reduced, and then it is pushed back into the urine. You would have seen many times when you drink less water, your urine will be very, very concentrated. Sometimes it may be burning also. Why? Because the urine, because your body, because your kidneys know that it has become acidic, so it has to do something. Now what happens? It wants to preserve the water, so it will just suck out the water and then give it inside the body, and your urine will become concentrated. Now the same situation, if your body becomes alkaline a lot, what will happen? Once again, the kidney will think it has become too alkaline, it has to put it into acidic. So what it will do, pick up the acids and then push it back into your blood so that it becomes neutral. See, ultimately, it is not acidic nor it is alkaline. It has to be neutral. This is where our body starts working, and that is when you don't feel there is any problem with you, when they are working hand in hand. Now imagine you have 2 million nephrons in your kidney, 2 million nephrons in your kidney. Now, if 2 million nephrons, they all have to work hand in hand, isn't it? They all have to work hand in hand. How do they work together? Why? Because they all live in balance. This is what we all need to understand, is they all live in balance, they all do what they are supposed to do, and they are all automated. It is like an automatic machine. They will change the switch, they will reverse the switch. All they will do without you even knowing that, they will tell, they will do. The moment you drink one Coke itself, automatically your body starts functioning, your kidneys will go and think, okay, now acid has come, I've neutralized it. It will suck the water, neutralize it, put it back into the blood. Now the kidney will do that. The same thing when you're talking about your lungs. Lungs also is another wonderful mechanism wherein it balances your electrolytes. It balances your electrolytes. Now for that, don't you think you need to breathe in and breathe out properly? How many of you know how to breathe properly? You will be breathing minimum 15 to 18 per minute. In and out, 15 to 18 per minute. When you get angry, it will be around 30. When you go into a rage, throwing tantrums, throwing things out and all, what is breathing that time? It will be definitely around 40 to 45 or even 50. Now, when you're breathing so fast, do you think that you can consume oxygen and it can go inside? Definitely not. Many times you would have noticed people go into a rage, they can go into a fits, they can go into a sudden unconsciousness, it can be a giddy spell. All this, why it is happening? Because when you go into a rage, your whole body goes into a spasm. When the body goes into a spasm, your blood circulation is compromised. When your blood circulation is compromised, automatically oxygen is compromised. When oxygen is less, automatically you will have all the problem of fainting spells, to giddiness, to all the other things, whatever. There are a lot of diseases we can mention. But now, if you're in a relaxed mode, where you're breathing in and breathing out, this is where we teach you what technique you need to do. 5 seconds of breathing in, 5 seconds of holding the breath, and 10 seconds you need to breathe out the air. When you can practice this, that means for 1 minute you breathe only 3 times you breathe. So for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night time, if you can do this breathing technique, I guarantee you within 1 month, your whole system will start rejuvenating and you will start becoming much more with good reserve of oxygen, with good reserve of your breath. And then definitely your lungs will have expanded very well. Now this is, you are doing it consciously. This is where the lungs. So if you keep your lungs healthy, if you keep your kidneys healthy by giving a required amount of water, and if you are hydrated very well, what will happen? Your acid-base balance will automatically work properly and you will have a very neutral, fantastic life journey as you're walking. Now, as I already explained you, if the blood pH goes down, the person dies of acidosis, and if blood goes up to 8, also he has alkalosis. Now, so body is working 24 hours, 7 days in a week, 365 days, keeping the balance. Now, that is the kind of machine you have. How much of regards you have, how much of gratitude you have to this beautiful body, which is doing a fantastic job from birth until death, until you go to the grave. It doesn't complain, it doesn't give any unfavorable words to you. It doesn't talk bad about you. Are you with your body? Are you there for the body to say, thank you so much, kidneys, thank you so much, heart, thank you so much, lungs? So from today, start being grateful and have a lot of gratitude to your system. Then automatically things will start working on and have a very balanced lifestyle and balanced way of walking. But today, as you know very well, of course, we are all looking at today's fast food concept, and only the body knows how painful it is for it to, handle this kind of food what we are eating. The body only will, if there is a tears for every cell, every cell will be crying and telling why this person is eating all this food. Why is he or she is giving me so much of trouble? The stomach especially, they will, the moment you think of the stomach will be thinking, this man. And that too, we are all eating at odd hours. Imagine you are made after 10 o'clock, we just go home, and then 10 o'clock you eat the food. Actually 10 o'clock we are supposed to go back to bed, and we are not supposed to eat, but we are eating. Imagine with the KFC and the McDonald's 24 hours, they are open. Can you see people still go to the McDonald's at the early in the morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock? I don't understand. Why do you have to eat at that hour? Why are you putting your stress onto your body? You can tell, okay, you're doing night duty. So what? Have your dinner and go to work, and then do your job. Just drink water. That's it. You're doing your night duty. But there is one thing you need to understand. You are doing night duty for what? For whose favor are you doing? Are you doing it for your body? Are you doing it for your lungs? Are you doing it to save your heart? No, isn't it? Then you will tell, oh no, doctor, we are working. It is for my family. It is all these stories you can tell. But if your body is going to ask you back, your liver is telling you, hello, sir, I am supposed to sleep at 10 o'clock and start rejuvenating, because it's a standard protocol for them. I am supposed to do the cleaning part at 10 o'clock night time. I have to start. Then once I do, then the kidneys will do. So all this in the midnight when you're sleeping, only the cleaning process will go on. Now you're working. So what the liver will do is, the liver will say, no, la, you have anyway, you have done. So tomorrow morning I will get up and then do the cleaning. You think the liver will do the cleaning the next day morning? No, it won't. So the toxins gets accumulated. If the toxin gets accumulated, who is at the problem? Only you are at problem, because you will be only facing the diseases. Now, once you face a disease, what happens? You are stuck up in a hospital. Once you're stuck in a hospital, you're stuck with the medicines. And do you think just one medicine you'll be given? No. Once you get diabetes, just imagine the number of medicines over a period of time will increase one by one until you go to the level of insulin injections. After that, what? Then once you are stable with the insulin injection, then only the next stage will come. Your legs will be becoming black, and then the doctor will say, come, I'll cut it. Then the fingers will be cut, then slowly the foot will be cut, then slowly the leg also will be cut, then they'll go above the thigh. This is what is happening. Now, why? Aren't we so sensible enough that we should not be going into that state of life? Aren't we so dumb? Are we not intelligent being? The creator also will feel bad, from up. Even if the creator is going to see you, he will think, what these human beings are? Everything I gave them, I gave them the intelligence, I gave the beautiful world for them to go and live and come. But ultimately, what are we doing? We are actually totally create an imbalance of our lifestyle. Not only we create an imbalance, we are teaching our children also the same imbalanced lifestyle. Then what? Ultimately, they also will grow up the same as what you are. So please take responsibility and start balancing your lifestyle, because balancing your lifestyle plays a very important role in a journey for us as a human being. We all need to live on earth. So please, you see the photograph there, this guy's, the waist is so big. Actually, we can see a lot of people on the street. You just stand and observe. Minimum out of 10 people, minimum 6 to 7 people will have big tummies, and they'll be walking. And youngsters, it's not old people, youngsters, you see the stomach will be so big. What is happening? It's all the eating. And very proudly, most of the patients, when they come, yes, doctor, they'll be just 25, 26 years. They'll say, yes, doctor, I have fatty liver. What, having fatty liver, you feel so proud, is it? Actually, fatty liver is a danger zone. The moment you have fatty liver, definitely on a long run, you will face a problem wherein you will get diabetes, your toxin level will go, then you will have forgetfulness, Alzheimer's, or you name the disease, it can come to you. Why do you want to get into all that? So change the lifestyle. Start working on system where you need to balance your system. And once your system gets imbalanced, what happens? You are preparing yourself for an impending disaster. Now, disaster is where? Going to the hospital. Now, once you go to the hospital, what will happen? In an emergency, it's okay, no problem. But if you can change certain situation, we cannot prevent death. Every one of us, we have to die one day. That is still okay, acceptable. But why is that you cannot have a balanced lifestyle? Going to grave is okay, but going to hospital, if we can avoid it, why not? But if all the practicing of every day, very well balanced, and then finally you still have a chest pain and you want to go to the hospital, please, there is nothing wrong. We are here for that. It's just like telling I buy a 1 million Mercedes Benz and the Mercedes will never conk or never go for a repair. No, isn't it? Even if you pay a 1 million, it will go for servicing. It will still go for problems after 1 year. It will still have a breakage of parts. You still have to replace the parts. It is there. Even if you buy the most expensive weapon or equipment, also still has a life. Like recently, what happened with the Ocean Gate, where they went in for the to see the Titanic ship wreckage. What happened to the 5 people? All they just cleared up. That's it. See what happened. This particular thing had a lifespan. 3 times it has already gone. The 4th time, of course, there is a lot of pressure of water. Now it can't withstand. So what happened? Everything gone. That's it. In the same way, when you do not understand the wear and tear of your body, you better know it, because wear and tear of your body will create problem in a slow manner. But after that, you cannot change it. Once the wear and tear happens, you will not be able to reverse it back. It becomes difficult. But at the end of the day, at whatever age you are today, it's okay. Start something simple, start working on balancing lifestyle. So when you start working on a balancing lifestyle, everything falls in place. So what you need to have is a balanced diet is the key for your journey of life, and you need to have everything in place. If you see in this photograph, there are a lot of vegetables, fruits, and nuts, which is what we all have to eat actually. But if you think you want to eat non-vegetarian, it's still okay. You can have it, but have a balanced non-vegetarian. And preferably, I always will request, you want to eat non-vegetarian, please eat it in the afternoon. Do not eat non-vegetarian at night time, please. Why? Because you're going to bed anyway. Your digestive system will not be able to process, because it takes 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours for digesting your protein, especially what you're eating as a non-veg. Flesh will take 7 to 8 hours for it to fully digest and throw it out. So when you're sleeping, your system is still working towards it. In fact, during your sleep only, your system is supposed to do the rejuvenation program, cleaning program. All this is supposed to do. And added to that, you wouldn't be drinking sufficient amount of water. So what happens? Automatically, you are going in for a disaster in the future. So start working on a balanced lifestyle. Saying that, the best gift of nature is water, because food you cannot eat more, right? At least water you can drink. So how much of water per day you are supposed to drink? Please drink the sufficient amount to keep a balance of your body, so that the acid alkaline base is also well balanced, and then you're able to move forward. So in that way, drinking water sufficiently helps to maintain our acid base balance. Very beautiful. This is what you need to work on. Now, water is another epigenetic factor. Why I put this slide is, you need to understand that plays a very, very important role. There are around 800 factors of epigenetic, which actually determines your disease process and your disease creation. And in that, water plays a very, very important role. So drinking water is very, very important for you to balance your journey and to give the right amount of nutrition, right amount of oxygen, everything. Water is the base. So please drink sufficient amount of water to move forward. So here, just going back, we just need a clean water without bacteria, virus, heavy metals, parasite, and pH of 7.5 to 8.5 is good, with the ORP of -200 and TDS up to 100 to 200 is okay. So drinking a pure water and then resonating with terahertz is the best gift you can give for your body. If you have the machine, please look into it, because the resonated water is good, because the molecular structure of the water is so small that it can actually enter into your cells very easily. So if you look at the aquaporin, it's the water gates. Cellular hydration plays a very, very important role, and the angulation of the water molecule plays a very important role. And for this, of course, terahertz water has all the qualities and the properties for your cellular hydration. That is the message I wish to give you. So saying that balanced cellular hydration is the key to our survival of cell, tissue, organ, and the body as a whole. So you need to drink sufficient amount of water, neither less nor more. So you need to have a balanced water system in your body so that you give an opportunity for your body to take the journey to the next level. So when you look at this graph, of course, an unhealthy dehydrated cells is totally crumpled down, whereas a cell hydrated cell actually is so beautiful. You can see the photograph itself, you can know, and it can throw out all the waste products and toxins very easily. So our terahertz, after resonating, it becomes 7.6 hertz, which is the lowest. And when you look at the distilled water is around 118, the underground water is around 105, your mineral water, whatever you buy, is around 94, spring water is 80. And of course, we have the ionized water, which is around 54, and the emerald water is around 7.83. And these are all, you need to understand that if it is a possible, the lower the molecule, the smaller the molecule, is good for your body to, the functionality is much, much better. So what do we have? Of course, here at Terahertz company, we do have a Terahertz resonator, which is a good product by itself because the resonating properties are very good. So you need to understand that this is only a resonator, it is not a filter. And you need to have a filtered water for you to resonate the water. And ultimately, when you drink a clean water after resonating, automatically the hydration part of is taken care by the body. So saying that, if you can see this here, the 12 properties of our resonated water is already here. It's an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant, anti-radiation, low viscosity. The angulation increases by 5 degrees, and the 2 nanometer molecular size absorption of is 3 times more than the normal water. So that's how your BMR is increased. Then has a linear arrangement. That means they all stand in one line so that the hydration and getting into the cell function is much, much better. Then we have the high energy. I normally check with our dowsing rod. It has a very high energy, almost 15 plus minimum. 15 to 18 will be the energy. And the advantage is it can be boiled. That is something very beautiful. And of course, it works very beautiful for every one of us. And then we all have to look into that. These 12 properties are there with the terahertz. So why not? So the question is, why not? That's the answer. So saying that, we have to go with nature because nature holds the key to our aesthetic, intellectual, and cognitive, and even spiritual satisfaction. So stay hydrated and have a balanced cellular function. This is what I wish to let you all know. Saying that, the take-home message is very, very simple. Have a balanced lifestyle is the key to living a peaceful, blissful, and a healthy lifestyle. So have a very, very balanced journey and move forward. And with that, I think it is a wake-up call for every one of you. If you're sleeping, better wake up, buck up. The greatest wealth is your health. And have a wonderful weekend and have a wonderful week ahead. And until I come back with my 94th episode, looking forward to every one of you to be with Terahertz here on this platform. Invite as many friends as possible. Let them come and pick up the information, share the information, and enjoy the journey of life. So thank you very much and good night. Over to you, Brian.